Hi, Josh Stewart, Master Fitter at Cool Club Sydney. Another wet, dreary winter day at the moment. Just about to take you through what's in the bag of what I'm currently playing and a few changes that I've made and planning on making. We'll start at the top. I'm playing the TSI 3 driver. It's 8 degrees in the B1 setting at the moment, and I've got the red plus 2 gram weight, one click to the heel just to help me with my direction. I get a little bit right with my miss, so this just helps me get the face moving a little better. I've currently got the Ventus Black 6X driver shaft in there, playing at 44.75, so I play driver quite short. I seem to struggle when I go over 45 inches. I've tried to muck around with it a bit, but just don't seem to be able to get good consistency with my direction and strike at that length, or any length over 45 really. I'm actually getting a hazardous smoke blue RDX that I'm going to do some testing with just to see if it's any better than this, as I've been doing some testing with the green. Moving to Fairway wood, this is a bit of an old faithful. Got the Pickle Rick head cover for any of those Rick and Morty fans out there. TaylorMade Sim, the original Sim Fairway wood. Haven't really been able to beat it. Does just as good a job for me than the Sim 2 and the Stealth. I quite like the look on the ground compared to the others as well. Playing that in the 15 degree head, one click lower at the moment. And I've got the Ventus 7X in that club. Playing that at 43 inches, so relatively standard length. This is a recent shaft change for me. I did have the Diamana BF70TX in that club for a while. Found of recent that I just was getting a little bit wide with my dispersion on that club, seemed to shape a little bit too much. Very similar profile in the Ventus 7X, but seems to just tighten the dispersion a bit for me and help me feel like I'm in a bit more control when I do actually want to shape it, that it's not going to overshape. So into the hybrid and driving iron section of the golf bag, I do have a couple of options here. I've got a hybrid on order at the moment, but at this point in time, I've got the old Callaway X Utility iron in 21 degrees. I've actually got an 18 degree of the new head on order, a little less offset, and I'm currently playing this one at 18 degrees anyway, so it'll play a bit more neutral at that loft. I am playing the Modus 3 Ghost shaft at the moment. It's a shaft that we haven't actually got on the shelf, but something I wanted to test with the profile being somewhat similar to a Modus 130X iron shaft. This is the 95 gram Tour S shaft. I'm playing this at 39.5, so it's not quite a hybrid length, but it's a little longer than my irons. Helps me control my club speed and get the distance that I want out of it with a pretty controlled trajectory and being able to hit a few different flights of shot. The hybrid I have on order, I've got a steel fiber I95X coming for a Stealth 19 degree 3 hybrid. Just a different combination to get the ball popping up in the air a little bit more for when I play, probably a little bit more calm conditions. That driving iron will be for when I need to hit a few lower balls off the tee, versus the hybrid's going to be finding golf courses that are maybe a little bit longer and I need to come in with a bit more height, or I just need to get it stopping with that particular club a little bit faster. Moving into the iron portion of the bag now. I've got something a little bit different here. These are the Kyoe KCM Forged. They're a blank iron heads. They come in a fair bit over head weight, and then you get them custom ground down to exactly what you want. I got these ones ground in the US, kind of got them modeled off the Miura MB101, but I also got a leading edge grind. I quite like a raw finish on the head as well. And then I got some custom stamping done on it as they did it, just with my initials and the loft. And then you can kind of see there, they've got a nice leading edge grind. When I try to slow down my golf swing and hit more of a punch shot or like a flattened out ball flight, I tend to really throw the club at the ground and de-loft it a bit. That leading edge grind really helps me feel like I can control the club through the ground consistently, which is something I've struggled with going through different iron sets, finding some consistency with my short irons when I try to take some speed off. these have really done a great job for me there. I got a little bit of lead tape on them just because I like to play quite heavy swing weight. When we were building these, trying to get them to a nice consistent swing weight, we would have had to have put really heavy drop weights in the shafts. I didn't really want them to be, all the weight to be under the shaft, so decided because they are something a little bit different, I was happy enough to put some lead tape behind the strike zone. Play my irons at like D9, E0 at about a ½ inch over, which is pretty heavy. Playing the KBS Money Taper or S Taper 130 X-Flex golf shaft in the PVD black finish. Just wanted to kind of murder it out with that raw finish on the head. I played these in a 4-to pitching wedge. 29 degrees, I've got 30 printed on it, but 29 degrees in the 6 iron. I've got them basically 4-degree spacings all the way through, with the irons basically being a degree stronger than what they've got written on them, just to help with my dynamic once I got the clubs built up in that sense. Cool, now we'll head into the wedges. These are a recent change. I stay in the KBS S Taper, Money Taper 130X in my gap wedge, just because I, for the most part, play this full and want the feel to be quite consistent from my irons into this club. I'm playing the TaylorMade milled grind 3 wedges. This is just the standard bounce in the 50 degree, and then just got slightly different ferrules on them. Really like the finish on these black heads and the look of these at address. I've kind of floated out in and out of the TaylorMade wedges between them and the Callaways for a few years. Mainly went to these ones more for the 56 and 60 options. I was doing some testing with the Tiger grinds, really liking them. Nearly committed to getting them, but kind of had a bit of a look at the high bounce options that they offer in 56 and 60. Ended up landing in the high bounce options there. Also like the black finish as well, so that kind of swayed me a little bit. I may in the end, like the Tiger grinds, get a little bit of a leading edge relief put onto these, but I really like the idea of having a little bit higher bounce in my 56 and 60. Previously had a 54 degree, more for full shots, but I've kind of tried to concentrate on this club being workable back a little bit more for me, playing the 50 a little softer, and then being able to have a little bit more loft to utilize around the greens, out of the bunkers, for that mid-pitching kind of between 20 and 50 meters, and being able to have kind of a high bounce, straight a bit rounded grind on my 56 degree allowed me to play a few more shots there. I stay in the high bounce grind in the mill grind 3 wedges into my 60. Have played 60 pretty much the whole time I've played golf. Really like these because there is still a little bit of shave in the heel and toe, but still a fair bit of bounce straight through the middle. So allows me to be able to play some open face shots without losing too much bounce across all of those shots. In the 56 and 60, I'm playing the KBS High Rev 2.0 135 X-Flex wedge shaft, designed to match up somewhat to the KBS golf shafts. Plays a little heavier than the iron shafts, but then plays a little smoother in the tip. Really like these for more of my green side shots, and don't find that it affects me too much on the longer shots from there. Moving down into the putter, this is also another recent change. I have gone to the new TaylorMade GT putter, got a custom finish done on that one, also a custom neck that they offer in the new My Spider range. This one's actually not offered in their standard range. Once again, a little ode to the Rick and Morty community, the Pickle Rick putter, kind of to match up with the Fairway wood. They do some really nice head covers with them as well. I've got the Stability Tour black putter shaft in this one. I'm also I've got on the way a Accra FX 400, their stiffest graphite putter shaft, to do some putter shaft testing. I've also got that in like a black and green finish, kind of to match up with the whole theme of the putter. This plays at just under 36 inches at a total length, cut length at 35.75, so it goes a little longer with the grip. For my length, I was previously playing a little bit longer, but just been doing some structural work and finding that just going down a little bit has helped me get my eyes in a better place and feeling like my arms are in a better structure. felt like it a little bit longer. I started to get a little bit behind myself when my eyes were in a good spot. Putter was also a little bit of a byproduct of ball change because the new GT faces have that aluminium insert. It feels a little firmer off the face. I've gone to the Callaway Chrome Soft XLS. That was more of a move for the rest of the bag, and the putter was a slight adjustment around it. I really like this ball because it's quite a firm compression golf ball, yet plays relatively low launch, low spin. I'm a bit of a battler when it comes to spin throughout the entire bag, so for the most part I'm trying to knock a little bit off throughout the bag, and I found these golf balls have been really good for it, really consistent. Something that I've kind of been looking for out of the Callaway ball, because I did play it in my traineeship in the X. Yeah, so just to finalise, something a little different. Tee stuff is kind of, some people have disapproved of it and some people are quite keen on it. I found from testing for myself that I use the Tour Tee Pro just purely because I struggle with too much spin on the golf ball kind of through the bag, and I've found with the driver especially that this actually knocks my launch up a hair but knocks a few hundred RPM off. Helps with my miss hit being a bit low on the face, kind of keeps spin down a little bit for me. Helps me find a little bit more golf course, get a little bit more distance out of the barred one. Like I said, a bit random, isn't going to change the world, but I've found in recent that really helps me out. Kind of into the other last bit of the bag, I've got the Cool Clubs Vessel bag. Something kind of special we got done out of the US. Quite a cool piece, and then the Cool Clubs towel. Thanks.